Greetings from the Eccentric Man, and it's a Lion Rampant game. Martin is back for a game. He's moved away, but every now and again he reappears. So, hoping to get a little bit of revenge from the last game when I beat his Saracens. So we'll have to see. So stay tuned to see if Martin can gain his revenge. We will be playing the Hammer and Anvil scenario from the Lion Rampant Rutland. The Eccentric Man YouTube channel is kindly sponsored by Lost Art Games in Stevenage. You can find them online and at 29 Marketplace Stevenage. Pop in and say hello. The aim of the game is for one player to get their units off the opposite corners of the board. You're playing longwise on the table, and we've gone for 24 points each. There is a little kicker to the scenario, and as that is that a force that's going to get across the table, the opponent sets up in front and then behind them. Went for a fairly open table, as you can see. The scenario calls for a significant piece of terrain in each of the four quarters, so we've set it out as such. Each is difficult going. My Crusaders will be going from the right side of the table to the left. I went for a fairly standard Crusader force, and within that I've got two elite cavalry units, the Brothers, the Templars and the Hospitallers. They're 6 points apiece. I went for a unit of Sergeants, 4 points, and then 2 foot sergeants, one with spear and one with crossbow, and they were 4 points each as well. Unfortunately, I didn't get a close-up photo of Martin's troops, but he did upgrade some of them. His commander unit had removed Wild Charge. He had a veteran unit of archers, and he had one unit of light infantry foot with missiles, and then he also had a unit which was more like a war band. So, the video did not work. So we're just trying to do a quick catch up. We're on to turn 2 now, and fortunately not too much has been lost. All my units in turn 1 and turn 2 have moved forwards, all passed their leadership tests. Martin in his turn 1 killed one of the Hospitaller Knights, but they passed their courage test. He's now rolling to move the bowmen back to take them out of charge range. And over on this side, in the first turn, he moved the skirmishers into rough ground and failed to activate the cavalry. So he's now into turn 2. And of course, you missed the bits where I was saying. In turn 2 in this game, the rest of Martin's troops can come on from the eastern edge. They can move on, but they can't charge and they can't shoot. But that can give me a little bit of a headache coming on behind me. So Martin's going to move his bowmen for their move. So for Martin, in his turn 2, he has successfully brought on some units, but these ones in here, he's moved these skirmishers up, they went, and he's moved up the cavalry, they've worked. They moved back to get out of charge range of my Templars, who were pressing them quite significantly. But over here, Martin had one failure for one activation, but we played the alternative rule, so if your first unit fails, you add +1 to the next unit, and so forth. So the rest of the others, the spear and the cavalry, have come on. So now I've got to consider, do I run, and will I be out of range of his cavalry and keep out of range, or do I fail my leadership test? No, I have just remembered. Wild Charge. Yes. Wild Charge for my Crusaders. So I may not have any control over this, so I'm going to have to roll their attack value. Yes. And if I roll the attack value, I charge Martin. And if I fail it, I can move them in activation. Yeah. So it's a little bit helpful, but not the best of things. But we'll give it a go. Well, that was not as we had hoped. So we had the wild child test, and they failed that. So what you can do is then move them. So I tried to move them, and that failed. You can do a re-roll on the move, and that failed. Then my crossbowman failed. My spearmen have gone into wall of shields. I've got to turn them around. But both cavalry units moved on 10s, which I was very surprised at. So we have moved up to put some pressure on the bowmen, but I don't know what we're going to do because they're obviously going to shoot at the Hospitallers, and that may wipe out the Hospitallers. I'm expecting a charge from the heavy cavalry in this next turn, and I'm going to have to hope that I can countercharge, but that's not guaranteed. So thanks, Martin, putting them into wall of shields, and that just helps to reduce the effect of shooting. End of the turn, and I was very fortunate to roll 7+ for a countercharge, which gave me then 2+ to hit, and I managed to kill 3 of the Saracen cavalry. Martin failed his leadership test and has become battered and has gone back half a turn. I passed mine, and we both passed our leader test to see if they were killed. Over in the centre, his bowmen have peppered my crossbowmen, killing 2, but I did pass my courage test, so that was good. The spearmen have moved on. I'm still in that spear shield wall, so I don't think he's going to actually shoot at me there. So I'm not quite sure what the use of that was really. I should have probably just run forward. Over here, the skirmishers are coming out of cover. Light cavalry, they failed, didn't they?
They did.
But the bowmen have moved back a full move to make sure that they're out of my 10 charge move. So, yeah, that was a good little turn for me. But of course, back over here now, I've got a test to see I've got a wild charge. I'll probably pass this now, and then get charged by possibly by his spearman, but we don't know yet. We'll see how we go. So let's go into the next turn for the Crusaders. Mixed fortunes. Found the wild charge over here, so I thought, right, we might as well move. Failed the move activation, but the general, who he is there, can re-roll. So he did, passed, and they moved up 10 inches. The heavy cavalry in the centre, they passed their test and moved forward. The elite cavalry there, the hospitals failed. The heavy infantry, I was going to move them forward. They failed their activation test, but the crossbowmen did kill 3 of the light warriors. So that was quite good. But in Martin's turn, and he's got to roll for his battered unit to see if they rally, and we'll see how the rest of the armies move.
That's the one you do first. Warriors.
Oh, your warriors have got wild charge.
Yes.
Oh dear, that might be troublesome.
Yep.
Mind you, that's if they're within 6.
Warriors are 8 inches. That's
Are
what
they?
they are. Yeah.
Oh, they're not heavy infantry.
No, warriors. Warriors move 8 inches, and they're fast, so they go
Ouch.
through. Yeah.
That might be an ouch there. Yeah, warriors. Oh yes, I forgot the warriors. Oh well then, Martin, take it away.
So I need to roll. What is it?
Your
Attack.
wild,
Warriors.
your attack.
It's a 5.
5s.
5s.
Yeah, that's them. Them nice little move was the bowman there, and they took a shot at the heavy infantry, killed one, but I passed me courage test. Now to work out what we're doing. Well, sadly, I had to break shield wall over here. Couldn't charge the warriors, and my rally test for the crossbowmen didn't go very well, and they have disappeared. So first unit gone to Martin. Cavalry, the Crusader cavalry has moved up 10 inches, so that's good. So we are getting closer towards the edge of the board. We're about halfway. But the other two cavalry units are well up and moving forward, and hopefully they can remain so. But it's obviously Martin to do some shooting next turn, so we might not be quite so good by the end of that. The rear guard of the foot sergeants is doing quite well. So the warriors are battered, the foot sergeants are battered, but we're still there. I think did the bowmen fail?
No.
No, they did take a. They did
No,
hit, didn't they?
They
did take a casualty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Over here, Martin moved up his unit with his leader, chasing my cavalry unit.
Yeah.
Over here, what did happen here?
The archers failed.
The archers failed.
And the cavalry skirmishers failed.
Didn't kill anyone, did they?
No, they only got 1-6.
Yeah, didn't kill anyone. Skirmishers.
And the light cavalry did a skirmish move, didn't do any damage, and moved into a blocking.
Yeah. Sort of blocking.
Yeah.
Right, so we'll see what we can do. Well, we got very excited in that turn and did things totally out of order, but it's all okay. I managed to rally the heavy infantry, so that was helpful. The Hospitallers charged down the bowmen, but we have lost 3 Hospitallers now, so I'm down to only 6 attack dice. Heavy cavalry bounced off of the other cavalry. We did 1 casualty each, and both passed our courage tests. And I've moved up the Templars, so we are trying to get to the edge of the board, but we'll see how we go. And then Martin's still trying to work on this side. He's got to do a rally test for the people on the far side with the black flag with the circle. And these ones are still in the game. Martin's general still trying to do chasing up of the Templars, and the skirmishers over here took a shot at the heavy cavalry but failed. Didn't kill anyone, did they?
No.
Did 2 wounds but needed 3. Over here, the cavalry shot at the Hospitallers and didn't do enough casualties to remove 1. So getting a little bit hairy on that side for Martin. The warriors rallied, which was quite good, and the other warriors of light infantry have moved up, so they're going to pepper the heavy infantry next turn, I would think. So, getting towards the end stages of the game, if we can. We might get the finish in. We'll see how we go. Getting tricky now, so I've done a withdrawal for these ones. They are moving backwards. Over here, I had to do wild charge, going into rough ground where the little skirmishy people are. So that brought my armour down to 2 and my attacks to 5. I managed to kill 1, I think. Did I kill 1? Yes, I did kill 1. And Martin killed 1 of mine, so that was a bit harsh. Over here, Martin evaded with his cavalry, and I didn't catch them. And these ones have failed their wild charge, and they failed their activation move. So I'm not sure how we're going to get this. That's a lot less figures. Well, Martin passed his wild charge and charged into the heavy infantry, and it was very bloody. We lost 3 figures each. Fortunately, I managed to pass my courage test. Martin failed his by 1, so has gone back with a blob as battered. He's moved up the light infantry to get in position to shoot next turn. Over here, his leader is chasing up the back of the Templars. I bounced back. I'm hoping that I fail my wild charge next turn, that I can try and avoid these little skirmishes in the middle. Over here, failed to activate, so that was a big saving for my heavy cavalry, and the elites, hopefully they might move forward next turn. Well, the Templars failed their wild charge. They failed their move, so they are just standing there waiting for the enemy commander to charge into them. We've done quite a lot of damage on the cavalry there, killed 3 of them in that charge, and they've bounced back battered. But I've only got 3 men left now, and I've sent me Hospitallers over to the far corner to hopefully try and get off that edge at the back. So we'll see how that runs. Being greedy, I thought I'd try and charge the warriors who were battered, and of course failed my test. So that was no charging there. So over to Martin to see what he can do, see whether he can rally his warriors. We thought that might have been a better turn for Martin initially, with his wild charge into the back of me Templars, but although I didn't get a counter charge, I killed all 3. I did roll quite well, which was a bit of a shame. Skirmishers failed to shoot. The cavalry rallied, which was quite a surprise, but they did. The warriors rallied as well, but unfortunately for Martin, his light infantry failed to activate. So we are trying to still get off the board. I have got to try and deal with these little cavalry men, and hopefully I can get the cavalry on the far side to move as well. I've got no idea what I'm doing with these, but we'll see. But you might have to do an army leadership test for you, whatever happens, because your main man's gone. Because Martin's leader was killed, he had to do courage test for all units. The light infantry have become battered and have gone backwards. The warriors have fled the table. The cavalry have fled the table, and the skirmishers have gone backwards and become battered. So yeah, that was not such a good turn for Martin there. So for Martin's turn, he's rallied the light infantry and rallied the skirmishers. So I'm probably going to wild charge them again. So we shall see how we fare there. But we're trying to see if we can move these 2 units. Well, we're getting there. The cavalry have got to exit at this corner, and also at the other corner. So we hopefully should get there. Over here, bouncing back, and I'm battered. Martin's battered, but I could lose them. But the heavy infantry working their way back across the table. Heroes to a man. Unfortunately, Martin's brave little skirmisher failed his courage test, gone back battered and loses a man. I've got over here, we're now out of wild charge range, and Martin's chasing up the heavy infantry as fast as he can, because you could actually get rid of them by a good round of shooting.
I could if you failed to move.
Yes. Unfortunately, over on that far side, the hospital has stopped for a drink. Over here, the heavy cavalry have got very close to diving off, and we've rallied the Templars, which is quite good, and the heavy infantry have moved backwards, so we are doing quite well there. We're keeping our distance from the light infantry for the moment. So Martin failed to activate on this unit, and sadly his little skirmisher failed his courage test and disappeared. We're going into my turn to see if we can now get some units off the table and do some movement with the Templar Knights. And our hero, heavy infantry, of course. Well, we've got 1 unit off the board so far. Our second unit has stopped just on the corner, a little bit short. Templars moved up, hoping to get off of this side. The foot sergeants have moved back, and it's now Martin's to see whether he can get his light infantry moving. Do they need a 6 or a 5?
They need a light infantry 5.
So they will. They will move.
They will move.
Well, the heavy infantry in the middle are now moving off to the flank. Fortunately, they passed their activation. The Hospitallers stopped for another drink. They are just about to get ready to go off on a 7. And we've been able to move up the Templars towards this corner. So that's handy.
Yeah,
Martin's moving his light infantry up, chasing as best they can.
Chase.
It just needs the heavy infantry to fail once, and they will get some shooting at them. Well, quite useful. We've got the Hospitallers off, Templars off, and Martin is still chasing them down. Because the light infantry travel faster, he is getting closer, and he is closing in on them.
Yeah.
Yes. My heavy infantry failed their activation, and now the light infantry are going to do some shooting.
Ooh, 1, 2,
Armour
3,
4, isn't it? Armour 3, sorry.
5, 6.
6, that's 2 dead.
2 dead.
Ooh. 2 dead. That's 4 out of 12, minus 8.
So it's 8, yeah, minus 8. 10 minus
2.
8 is 2.
So they are going to go back battered.
Battered and back, which is what you want anyway.
That was very lucky, wasn't it, really?
It was, so back 3 inches.
Back 3 inches.
So 3 inches. 3
And 4 of
inches.
them left. With a battered token. What do you battered tokens?
Yeah, I'll stuck one there.
You got it? Yep.
Yeah.
So, my turn then.
Your turn. Yeah, you
So,
try and rally them.
we're going to rally on minus
8.
8.
6.
Minus 8. That is a 0, isn't it?
Yes.
That is a pop. They've gone.
They've gone. Oh, I
Yeah.
saved 2 camels out of that.
So, yeah, so we will now try and work out who's won. We'll have to go back to the victory conditions. But yeah, I thought I had a chance with them, but
Yeah.
those light infantry hounded them down and got rid of them.
Yeah.
Killed them off.
It did. They're skirmishers. If they just
It
had
was-
a bit,
they nearly
broke.
won.
Yeah.
Certainly nearly got a draw,
Yeah,
and nearly
yeah.
got the win. So we've totaled up the points. So I got 3 points of glory for the camels off the table, and Martin killed 2 of my units and got 2 glory points. So I win by 1. That was close, really close at the end there.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
just that there. The unit with the cavalry charge in the rear and the skirmishers nearly did for me.
Yeah,
But yeah, good fun. And nice to get a game on against Martin.
enjoyed it.
Well, what a game that was. I thought I was going to get my heavy infantry brother foot sergeants off the table. What a rearguard action they were doing. But Martin's light infantry chased them down and finally killed them. It was much closer than I thought when we totaled up the points, and I just managed to pip the win. Wild charge, yes, that really was a downfall for my elites, nearly a downfall for my elite Templars. Having to charge into rough ground really causes a problem. But anyway, we did succeed, and it was great having a game with Martin again. As I say, he's moved away, and every now and again he has to go up to London for work, and on his way home he pops into the store and has a game, which is great. So, yeah, a fun evening's gaming, and it's nice to get the Templars and the Hospitallers out on the table again. Channel-wise, I must apologise for not getting so many videos out, but I'd spend an awful lot of time at the moment childminding the grandchildren, and then in the evenings there's lots of other things to do, so it's difficult to get a game sorted out other than on the Wednesdays. So we're hoping to get some more videos up as best we can. The next video up that will be on the channel will be the final update of the Vichy French in the Levant project build. So look out for the army showcase for that. So I hope you liked the video and enjoyed it. We certainly had fun playing the game. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and hit the notification button to get fully aware of when the next video is coming up into the system. So anyway, until next time, take care.